Let's talk strong morning routines that I achieve imperfectly. What's in my cup today? Today is a little bit different on my electrolytes, but I'm really liking it. So I wanted to share with you because we know that electrolytes help you create voltage at the cellular level. And when you have voltage, you hold on to the magnesium that you soaked in more efficiently. And it is the foundational piece that your cells need. So many times we're chasing and we're adding things when in actuality, we don't have voltage and nothing is going to work efficiently if our body doesn't have voltage. Magnesium, potassium, and salt create voltage. So in my drink today, I put about a cup of filtered water. I put about ish a half a cup of mineral water. I wish I loved this stuff. I wish I could drink mineral water and go, this is so delicious. It gags me. Oh, don't like it. So I wanted citrus this morning, fruits. I was wanting that citrus. And so I had a couple oranges, and so I squeezed some fresh oranges. I think it was two. I maybe ate half of one, so maybe one and a half-ish. I squeezed some fresh orange juice. I put some salt, and I also put a little bit of about half a cup of harmless harvest coconut water. And can I tell you, this is delicious. And that is including mineral water that I do not care for the taste of. So I'll run over that quick again. Just water, harmless harvest coconut water, some mineral water, some couple oranges squeezed to get that juice, a pinch of salt, a little bit of fresh lemon, little bit of fresh lime. So I had like the blend of the citrus. Oh, and then in this one, I did put like the tiniest bit of stevia because I knew that that strong mineral water taste, and I want to enjoy my morning voltage. I want to enjoy that, and it is absolutely delicious. So if you're looking for something that you can add quickly and easily, load up your water with all the good things. Let's go into imperfect morning routines. Sick women are waiting until Monday when they have everything put together to take perfect action. And then Monday comes around and everything's not together and we push it off. The more you do that, the more your body will become stuck where you're at. Healthy women are taking imperfect action every single day. And I have no idea on my little drink. I have no idea how much. Oh, I forgot to tell you. It also has a half a teaspoon of cream of tartar for a boost of potassium besides the harmless harvest. So it's just, I loaded up that water today with so many things. Is it the perfect drink? I don't know. I didn't even take the time to put all the, like, I got this much salt and this much this. I don't know. Imperfect action. I know it is loaded with magnesium, potassium, salt, and it tastes delicious. And I'm already on my second glass of it at 9 Mountain Standard Time. I think it's a 24-ounce glass, and I'm halfway done with my second one because it's so delicious. I don't like to gag things down. Now, there are some things that I do. There are some things that I gag down because I know it's good for me. But if I can get it to taste delicious so that I'm enjoying it and not adding that stress of, ugh, this tastes horrible, I love that. And so my drink this morning, imperfect, and it's giving me that voltage at the cellular level. The mornings are a powerful way to step into how you're going to hold your magnesium for the day. What are things, and I'd love for you to share in the comments, what are things that you do in the morning that really help you feel connected to your day, bring you joy and just help you feel like, I got this. I want to share a couple things with you. I know this word triggers a lot of women and it works for me, doesn't have to work for you this way. My journal. This one is technically a traveler's journal. If I would have waited until I had this specific journal that I had wanted for years, that would have been me waiting until it was perfect. Use a little flip note card, use a Post-it note. One of the things that I do in my journal is I write down a word, just a random word. Today was joy. I wanted to make sure I experienced joy. And so I just wrote down joy. And that helps me filter everything that I see today through that word joy. Now, I have to tell you, this is my traveler's journal. It's a Louise Carmen. If you're into paper and journals, you're probably familiar. It was I made it over in France. You walk in her shop and you pick the leather and the charms. I picked a star because we'd gone to the Christian Dior Museum, and the star is part of his legacy and his branding. So I picked a very simple charm. My husband was surprised, but I'm like, no, it reminds me of the museum. Now, I love this journal. It's set up to bring me joy. And that is, notice those. I have to have ones. My kids think it's so funny that I carry cash, but I love supporting young entrepreneurs, and I never want to be without cash if I see a young entrepreneur selling something. A lot of times I'll just like, I don't want the Girl Scout cookies, but I'll just donate and say, oh, here's a couple dollars. I'm just donating. I don't need cookies. I think it takes courage and it just makes me happy to know that I'm prepared and ready if I'm out and about and I can support that. So I always have just a bunch of ones right there. This one also has a little notebook that I can slide important papers. At the end of the day, I'll pull those out. I tend to keep receipts. Not that I need the receipt, but I put it in a little notebook and just write about the day. It's got a little spot. Oh, is there numbers on there? I don't want to flash credit card numbers. It's got a spot for license and credit cards. It's got a little zippered pouch, and then it's got notebooks. And today I wrote down right there, just like I drew a little flower, but I just wrote down sick women start Monday, healthy women take imperfect actions daily, and healthy women open windows of time. So, for example, this morning, there was a lot of things happening, and I'm probably not going to get to that 20 minutes that I love of drawing. But one simple flower took me about 60 seconds and got that little creative flow and the movement in my hand. And we know that when we do things with our hands, that it helps us get our body going in forward motion. And so that was my little teeny window of time in my journal. Now there's another journal that I have in here that is where I just do writing and brain dump and things. And I didn't wait until I had the journal of my dreams that was a Louise Carmen. You can start with a Post-it note, write down one word, or here's a novel concept. In fact, let's do this one right now together. This will be good because in doing this, it shifts your brain and it helps you hold on to the magnesium that you're soaking in. Because my goal is magnesium cell saturation. That is my body being at 6.3 or above to keep inflammation down and to keep the processes of health starting. And most importantly, to activate my stored vitamin D to turn it to active vitamin D. But to me, it's not just about soaking, it's also learning how to live in a way that we don't have to soak as often. And so let's do this together. If you've got the courage, and those of you who are introverted, I don't want to push you beyond what you're comfortable with, so you choose if it's a good fit for you. I would love to know one thing that you did yesterday that we could celebrate together, that we could do a little dance together. Because is what a lot of women do, myself included, is we go over the things we didn't do right. We go over the things, "Oh, I didn't get that list done," or "I didn't get this done." And in doing so, we're teaching our brain to stay in that negative feedback loop. And one of the things that I focus on is stepping away from that. Do I do that perfectly? No. Still happens for me, still comes up for me. But I have created a habit to celebrate the things I accomplish. And yesterday, I'm totally caught up on some emails that needed to be gone over with a fine tooth comb. Totally did that. Nailed it, because they've kind of been like that project hanging in the back of, like, "Oh, that needs to happen, that needs to happen." Completely caught up. Now, I need to go look today and see if there's more. There might be, but as of yesterday, I was completely caught up. And instead of, "Oh, I didn't do this," my focus is, boom, I got it. I got it. So I would love to know what you did yesterday that we can celebrate together, because healthy women celebrate. In fact, if there was only one thing that I could share with you that will change the course of your health journey, it's celebrating what you did accomplish. Number one thing, and moving while you celebrate. Put on some good music. ABBA, I don't know who you love. ABBA, Bon Jovi, you can tell I'm a girl of the 80s, Pink. Put on some good music and celebrate your accomplishments and move while you celebrate. And you might feel really uncomfortable doing that in the beginning. I promise you, I promise you with everything I have so far, I have never met a single person that doesn't feel a little lighter after they celebrate. Their shoulders aren't as tight, their breathing's a little better, and we can dismiss that as, "Ah, it doesn't really make that much of a difference," but it does. It does make a difference. Oh, I love that, Sylvia. A notebook of homemade remedies yesterday. I wrote down and made your own body scrub. I absolutely love that. Oh, and Sylvia also did lemon water with a pinch of salt in the morning. I love that. Oh, you got out on a bike ride yesterday. So I bought a e-bike couple years ago, and it was just too big. I bought it online and it was just too big. And so I sold it and then took that money and bought a smaller e-bike. And I need to, since we moved, I can't find the charge cord to it. And so I need to get mine charged up. So, Mary, you have inspired me to get charged up. And for those of you that are anti e-bikes, my husband is on a mobility scooter and the man hauls. And so I need to be able to keep up with him when we're out on rides together. And so you've inspired me, Mary, to find that charger and get on my e-bike. Made a simple, nourishing, oh my gosh, I've got something. Oh my gosh, what did I do? Shelly, I just posted something that I shouldn't have. Can you delete that, Shelly? Oh, delete those two things that just posted. I was trying to move it out of my feed. Yeah, sorry about that. Oh, made a simple, nourishing meal for my kids, even though you got a late start. I love that. Late start means it didn't go perfectly as planned. And so now, what are you doing to move? Like, if I was on a bigger screen and in a little bit different place, I'd stand up, but I'll just do it from my chair right now. Yay. Oh my gosh, nourishing meals, lemon water, outside on the bike. Those are all amazing things. Those are things that move us forward that we tend to discount. And when we discount what we're doing, we start feeling like creating health is a burden. If creating health feels hard to you, if you feel like you've tried everything, if you feel like nothing works for you, if you've been on the journey for a long time and you're not seeing the benefits, I'm convinced it's because you're not celebrating your wins. And here's my other thing that I'm convinced of. Celebrating the smallest wins move you with the most momentum because you start noticing little tiny things throughout the day and that starts to build. And so not looking for the massive, I got started writing a book, not looking for a massive, my book is finished, but oh, I got some thoughts written down of some things that I want my girls to know. That's kind of what I'm focused on is what do I want my girls to know? What do I want to make sure that I have shared that with them? And I didn't finish it, but I did get a couple concepts written down. Celebrating those small victories are the most important. Turned on irrigation and fixed a sprinkler head. Colleen, I may be calling you for some tips. This sprinkler system at our house, we are learning how to even get it turned on. I don't even know if it's functional. And so I am going to be doing a lot of Googling on sprinklers and how to get them working, but celebrating those small wins, making sure those little teeny things. And sometimes I just celebrate that I got out of bed. Here's another funny one that you might go, oh my gosh, does she really celebrate that? Why, yes, I do. Sometimes I just celebrate the fact that I put a baseball hat over some hair that probably needed to be washed a couple days ago. And boom, baseball hat on. Celebrate. Celebrated that. How smart am I to utilize my time so efficiently that my hair got shoved under a baseball cap so I could go about my day? Celebrate the little things that are kind of crazy. In fact, come up with the craziest thing that you can celebrate. When you add that to your morning specifically, I'm going to grab some of my electrolyte drink. When you add that to your morning, when you add that celebration to your magnesium morning trifecta of collecting that sunshine, soaking in magnesium, getting that movement flowing of your lymph, your day starts from a stronger position and it carries it with you throughout the whole day. And it's for me, it's one of the most important things I do to ensure that I have strong, powerful days, is to do that celebration in the morning. And I brought up the word lymph, and I want to talk about something that I love that moves your lymph. Now, you might be shrieking once you find out what this is because technically it should be in brown amber glass to protect it. But I couldn't find any brown amber glass when I was at the warehouse that I could fill, and it's castor oil. Did you know that castor oil has been shown to move your lymph? And I use this so many ways, so many ways. I'm not super concerned that this isn't in brown amber glass. Now, I've ordered some and we'll move it. And the reason I'm not super concerned is it didn't get shipped to the supplier that you're buying it from in brown amber glass. It came in a big old plastic cubic container. I don't know, what do you think? It came in a big old plastic cubic container to some supplier. That's how castor oil comes. Castor oil is a ricinoleic acid, and it is unlike any other oil that there is. It's grown in the south west here in the United States. India is also a major supplier. I think about 86% of the castor comes from India. Um, but it's one of those oils that I never want to be without. Now, I don't sell this. I'm not set up. It's really hard to fill. You have to have specialized equipment because it's really thick and gooey. Ways I do want you to look at your castor oil. If it's clear, you're not getting the benefits of the castor oil. You want it to be that golden yellow because and you want it cold pressed and organic. And the more it's been processed, the lighter it gets. The more it's been processed, the less benefit. Now, I put this on my face at nighttime. Um, I never would want to put it in my moisturizer because depending on the season varies how much I use. And so I like having it as a secondary application. I have a little spoolie. I put it on my eyebrows. I put it on my eyelashes. It encourages growth. I'll put it on a castor oil pack over my liver. I'll put it on a castor oil pack over my knee. If I'm super, super busy, I have like these big band-aids. They're big, massive ones, and I'll put it just on a band-aid and stick it on and wear that castor oil pack throughout the day. If I don't have enough time to even pull out my castor oil pack and warm it up and do all of those things. But castor oil helps move lymph. When you are moving your lymph, the magnesium that you soaked in is moving more efficiently in your body. Pop your shoes off if you can. Pop your shoes off, look at the top of your foot. If your foot is really puffy and you don't see lines and tendons going down your foot, we've got issues with their lymph. And even when you can see the tendons, you might still need some support in your lymph. But if your foot is puffy, that is your body crying out that your lymph needs to get moving. How do we move our lymph? Simple. Magnesium morning trifecta. Soaking in magnesium, walking in the early morning sunshine are all things that are going to move your lymph and help your magnesium become more efficient because the goal is not to soak every day. The goal is to soak less often and maximize the benefits of soaking in magnesium. Um, oh, oil pulling with castor in the morning. Oh, it would be so good for your gums. I've never oil pulled with it, with castor. Oh, my mind's kind of going. I've never oil pulled with castor oil. I'm going to try that and see what I think of that. But castor oil is one of those oils because it's 100% ricinoleic acid that will help to pull things through. And when you go to the scientific studies, they say it does nothing. Sorry, I've gotten benefit. The dark circles under my eyes get lighter. My skin is more nourished in the morning. Oh, another way that I use castor oil is on my heels. So at nighttime, I'll put like a little bit just on my heels, a little bit of glycolic acid, and then cover it in castor oil, and then put a sock on and go to bed to keep the backs of my heels. If I've been barefoot a lot, I tend to do that in spring and summer when I like to walk barefoot, and my heels might get a little rough and tough. And so I'll use that castor oil to really help keep them soft. Um, you can use it on your hair, but beware, you have to, it will look greasy for numerous washings unless you strip your hair. So one of the things that I like to do with my hair is I will strip it because I do use product and that product can build up on my hair. And so when I start to feel like, ooh, my hair's getting a little built up with product, I will put castor oil all over my scalp. It's not the hair I want it on, it's my scalp. And I'll just drizzle it. I'll wrap a hair wrap around it and then I'll heat it up with a hair dryer over the hair wrap and go to bed. And then, so it's nourishing my scalp during the night. And then the next morning, I use a shampoo that strips my hair, not a moisturizing shampoo, but I'll use a shampoo that strips my hair. And then that way it doesn't look greasy from the castor oil, but I got the benefit of the castor oil. And it's one of those things that helps me to keep this my scalp super, super healthy. Um, Moving our lymph happens when we're hydrated. That's why my morning electrolyte drink is such an important part of my routine. Today, I have Harmless Harvest coconut water, regular water, mineral water, o- um, quite a bit of fresh orange juice, some lemon, some lime, tiny touch of stevia, tiny, like just the littlest, like of stevia because the mineral water, I don't like that taste, and some cream of tartar to give me even more potassium, and it tastes delicious, plus a pinch of salt, and it tastes absolutely delicious. Those are the kinds of things that help to get my morning moving so that I'm starting my day off powerfully. Sometimes we can look outside. I need to bring this in, I need to bring this in, instead of taking movement that creates help and pushes it out. So instead of chasing help, we're creating help internally. Soaking in magnesium is a great time for me to do stacking of functions, a permaculture principle that my husband taught me, stacking of functions. So while I am soaking in magnesium, I am writing in my traveler's journal. I am doing a little bit of tapping. I'm doing a little bit of humming with my tongue between my teeth. I am checking to see, this is just such a great quick check to see if you're in fight or flight. You should be able to press in about 2 inches from the middle of your ear, about. There will be a little hollow. You should be able to really press that. If it's tender, the more tender it is, fight or flight, no healing happens in that. And so I put my teeth between my tongue, or my tongue between my teeth. Oh, it's less tender because that humming helps you come out of fight or flight. You're training your body. So there's so many things that you can do while you're soaking in magnesium to help benefit how efficiently you're holding on to that magnesium. Oh, what kind of water filter do I use? It was the first thing I had added to our new home. We've been in this, I don't know, 2 months? I don't know. Anyway, it still feels very new to us. It's an old, old home, 1907, but it's new to us. The very first thing that I ordered once the papers were signed and I knew it was officially ours was our water filter. And so that would be a great one for me to focus on. The name of what I got is eluding me, but I could do a whole focus on our water filter and how we, the filters I put on the shower, the filters I put on the bathtub, and the filter that I put on our drinking water by the side of my faucet, just to optimize so that I'm getting the best water that I can. And that would be fun to do a whole live on those. So I'm adding that to my list of lives to add to. Oh, and there's some things. Oh, run through ingredients on the, oh my gosh, G Gardening, you bought yourself pansies. Sherry, love castor oil. Oh, I do too. I discovered, talking about pansies, I love peonies or peonies. I hear it said both ways. How do you say it? Peonies, peonies. I love them. I love them. The house that my business was started in Hyde Park had the most incredible peony bush, and it was prolific in its blooms, and I've never had one that bloomed like that. And so as we were digging through the yard, because it wasn't kept up very well, and so my husband and I immediately started working in the yard, and we uncovered, are you ready for this? 4. And they've got their blooms, they've got their ants. Peonies need ants on them. and I think I've got about 90 blooms that will be blooming soon. Usually they bloom end of May for me here in Utah. I don't know when these will bloom, so I'm watching, waiting excitedly for that to happen. Um, but I do want to go back into what was in my drink. It has some water, it has some mineral water, it has some harmless harvest coconut water, it has some fresh orange juice. It has a squeeze of lime, a squeeze of lemon. It has a pinch of salt. It has, uh, I just did half a teaspoon of cream of tartar for some more potassium and then shook it up really good. And I was a little worried it wouldn't taste good because that was a new one for me. Because, the smell of the mineral water, I was like, "Oh, it doesn't smell good," but it tastes delicious. It is now going to be one of my standards. So fast, so easy. I'm already on my second one, and I'm done. So I'm almost at 50 ounces for the day of electrolyte water, and it was delicious. Remember, soaking in magnesium is about adding voltage. If you're focused on thyroid, if you're focused on adrenals, if you're focused on hormones, if you're focused on better sleep, if you're focused on a stronger immune, if you're focused on more energy, if you're focused on strong brain function, your body needs voltage. And that's where we always start. And sometimes it's easy to get caught up in, I have to do this and I have to add this and I have to add that. First thing we check, voltage. Where is your voltage at? Are you getting enough potassium, enough magnesium, enough salt? Now, how much you need will be different than how much I need, and that's part of your journey is you discovering how often you need to soak, how much salt your body does well with, and ways to get potassium in to keep yourself where you want to be with potassium. You might be on a medication that stops how much potassium you can take. Your kidneys, you might be, level 4 kidney renal issues. You're going to be treating potassium very differently than I am. And so determining that is the foundation of creating help. And you build a relationship with your voltage. You build that relationship so that you know these are the ways that I can get that in. Because when you create voltage, everything's more efficient in your body. Soaking in magnesium, filling that interstitial space. Now, we know that oral magnesium gives benefits, right? We know that. It doesn't move the interstitial space. And that's what I want with magnesium. I want magnesium in the interstitial space that my organs have access to. They printed an article that they interviewed me for in the Wall Street Journal. And I found it so interesting because they talked about the benefits of magnesium soaking. And then they had a doctor that said, well, I only see about one or two patients a year that are deficient in magnesium. Oh, yes, because they're testing the serum. Your body will pull from your bones, from your blood, from your pancreas, from your muscles, from your heart, from your intestines. Your body, magnesium is so important to you being alive and breathing. Your body will pull from all of those places to keep your serum, which is what doctors test, to keep your serum where it needs to be. I'm not concerned about my serum. I want to know what kind of access do my organs have when it comes to magnesium. And we find that in the interstitial spaces. And the red blood cell test matches the interstitial space. And so if your red blood cell is where it needs to be, your interstitial space is good. And that's my goal with magnesium. Synthetic oral magnesium cannot keep you or get most people to cell saturation. Once you heat it, pulverize it, process it, put it in a pill, you have lost the benefits. That's why where your magnesium comes from is so incredibly important. I want my magnesium from Zextine Inside, the only mine that is certified in Europe for topical use, not road use. We're not interested in profit. We're interested in health. We want it not from flakes, not as Epsom salt, not reconstituted and not made in a lab and not diluted. And that's why Living the Good Life Naturally was started, so that I had access to that. And if you want access to that, go check out livingthegoodlifenaturally.com. Oh, the recipe. Sylvia, I okay, so I am ballparking this. A cup of water, a cup of Harmless Harvest coconut water, about half a cup of mineral water, squeeze of half a lemon, good squeeze of a full lime, and my lime was a little hard, so that wasn't very much. A pinch of good, this one was a French sea salt that I bought when we were over in France. I put a pinch of that good sea salt in, and I put a half a teaspoon of cream of tartar for some more potassium, and it is delicious. Now, I will make it different all the time. I guess it's a way I show my creativity because I'm constantly changing it up. When it's a really good one, I like to share. And this one was a really good one because mineral water has sulfur, it's got usable calcium, it's got magnesium, it's got some potassium, it's got so many good things for us and our liver. And I don't care for the taste of mineral water, like really don't care for the taste. And so the fact that I'm enjoying a drink that has mineral water in it was like massive thumbs up for me. And so you don't have to do it exactly like that. Do what works for you and what is a good fit for you. How much orange juice? It was about an orange and a half. I started out with 2 oranges. They were super sweet. And so I ate half of it and then just did a quick squeeze with the other ones in my cup. So about an orange and a half. You could do more, you could do less. It was enough for me to cover that taste of the mineral water. Now, some people, like our dear friend Annie, she loves mineral water and she grew up sipping mineral water and she just thinks it's delicious. I don't. I don't. And so the orange juice is what really covered the taste of the mineral water. Next time, I'm going to try it without the pinch of stevia because I don't like doing a lot of stevia. If I lose the sweetness of broccoli, that's how I know my body's out of balance. It's out of whack. If I can't taste the sweetness of broccoli, I'm using too much stevia. I've gotten too much sugar. I'm eating too many carbs. That's just like a little litmus test for me. And so the fact that I could drink that and enjoy it with the mineral water in was a definite win for me. Elizabeth, you are so kind. You are so welcome. And that was incredibly kind of you to call it fabulous information. Let me go quickly over to the private chat. Oh, okay. This is such a great question from Rose Reedy, I believe is how you pronounce that. How do you check your potassium? Here is a thing with potassium. Did you know when they check your potassium, how they put the tourniquet on your arm can change the levels of potassium in your body? That's how inaccurate that test is. If they don't use a tourniquet, your potassium levels will be different. If they do it really tight, your potassium levels will be different. So I don't rely personally. Now, I'm not a doctor, I'm not diagnosing, I'm not telling you what to do. Personally, I do not check through blood work my potassium. I track it. How much am I getting? Now, do I track it every day? Absolutely not. But if I'm focused on, how much potassium am I getting? Then I just track the potassium levels in my foods, my drinks, and what I'm taking in. Potassium is one that's pretty easy to for your body to utilize. In fact, I've only seen two people in over 25 years of watching thousands of women track their potassium that they still weren't getting the benefit of potassium. So it's one of those that if you're getting enough potassium in, you're in pretty good shape that your body's utilizing that potassium. Do remember this though, if your stress levels are higher, your perceived stress, the stress you're experiencing internally and externally are higher, you need to bump up your potassium levels if appropriate for you. My husband cannot do as much potassium as I can. And so you need to look at your situation because healthy women have strong filters and they always take information they find anywhere and filter it through their own situation to make the best decision for them. Oh, broth. Yes. I love broth. Make chicken stock and bottle it for sipping in the mornings. I love that. Get your eggs locally. We finally found a little local place, a neighbor that has eggs, and they use a non-soy feed, which is my favorite because when chickens are fed soy, the soy messes up the nutrients in the eggs, and there's a great chicken feed that's actually out of Modesto, California, that's a non-soy chicken feed that they supplement their chickens, and they also are just out getting herbs. They plant comfrey and all sorts of good things for their chickens to get. And fresh eggs are just incredible. I pay a little bit more for them, but to me, that's worth it. I want to put my money on that focus. So I absolutely love that. And in the spring, summer, I tend to back off of my broth a little bit and go more toward my voltage drinks. In the fall and winter, I tend to really focus on broth, and that's just because of the heat. Now, I'll still do broth. If I don't get it in first thing in the morning, I do not enjoy sipping a warm cup of broth on a hot day. And so it I'll still utilize it, but 2 to 3 times a week for me in spring and summer versus pretty much every day for me in fall and winter. And it's just one of those seasonal things that works well for me. Oh, I love that. I love that. It was so delightful being with you today. I'd love to know, share with me in the comments, what are you walking away with today? What was your connection piece? That powerful piece of information that you can utilize to go forward. I think for me, the most important thing we talked about was celebrating. It doesn't cost anything. You don't have to buy anything. You don't need to um, spend a lot of time focused on it, but just celebrating your little wins throughout the day and moving with your celebration, like moving a little bit will make the journey to creating health easier. And if you are feeling burdened, then celebrating so far 100% of the time always lessens the burden. Look back to yesterday. What's something you did? I did about 5 minutes of weeding. Technically, I did not weed as much as I wanted to, but I did get 5 minutes in. I did get 5 minutes in around those beautiful peony bushes that I found. And so I'm celebrating the fact I got those weeds pulled in that 5 minutes and figured out we're just in that observing stage in our yard. And so that 5 minutes was an important 5 minutes for me. And I'm celebrating that I got five in. That's better than none, right? And so celebrating those small actions. Oh, Mary, checking the jaw point to evaluate how you're doing with fight or flight. And here's the thing. So many of us experience such deep fight or flight all of the time, we don't even recognize that we're in fight or flight because it's become our normal. And so I want you to think, when was the last time I just took a big, deep breath, sigh of contentment? That needs to be happening daily because you've created little spaces in time. Healthy women create spaces in time to experience peace. And that's what creates help. Create it internally and let it go this way versus chasing after it externally. It's a lot, in my opinion, it's a more powerful way to create and optimize your magnesium levels. So let me know. Are you soaking today? I did a massive bath yesterday that was delightful. And it made such a difference for my sleep last night, but I want to know, what's your plan for soaking today? Optimizing magnesium levels is the first gateway of health. It's where everything starts. If you're low vitamin D, you have to be low magnesium. You can't get low vitamin D without your magnesium tanking first. So let's go to where the problem started, course correct it, and move through those gates of health appropriately. And it all starts with your magnesium levels. So happy soaking. Bye-bye.